Hello everybody, welcome to Elite Weather Forecasting. I'm your student meteorologist. My name is Mr. G with the weather forecast for you guys. I hope you're having a great day today. It's going to be a late video for you guys in the evening hour, so many of you may not see this video until tomorrow morning when you get up and you check out YouTube or TikTok. But we're going to get that video for you. I was busy today getting ready for an exam that I have tomorrow, and I had a couple of lab assignments I was trying to complete to get turned in so I can get that credit before they'll be late. So I have to get those assignments turned in. So we had a late video today. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a good day today. And our city of the day is Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, the wonderful city of Cleveland, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Cleveland Indians, and the Cleveland Browns. So the great city of Cleveland today. Right now, it's cloudy out there, but there's no precipitation at this time. You had a lot of snow today, a lot of lake effect snow. I saw a video of some of the highways out there today. Was pretty nasty. Those winds have shifted to the west-southwest, so it's not quite rolling across the lake right now, so you're not seeing that snow. But those winds will shift back around to the west-northwest. We'll kick up that snow-producing factory once again, so enjoy the brief respite that you have from the snow. But let's talk about the forecast for the rest of the country right now. And we have some Hawaii news today too, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about in the weather forecast, so let's move on with that and get started with our first map of the day here. And this map, we're going to be talking about some wet weather that's going to develop around the south central part of the United States. So Texas through the southern plains and parts of the Ozarks through the Mississippi River Valley. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms. Some of these storms are going to be severe. It's going to remain chilly and cold across the eastern U.S. However, a bit milder air is going to move in across the northern tier of the country. So Minneapolis, any areas north of the Central Plains, so the Minneapolis, northwestward, the High Plains, the Northern Rockies, are going to see drier weather and a little bit warmer weather, so that's a bit of good news. We saw those temperatures in the teens to 20s over the last couple of days. The overnight lows have been in the single digits. This morning we woke up to a low of 7 degrees here in Minneapolis, and we saw a high of 27 today. Tomorrow the forecasted high in Minneapolis is 43 with an overnight low tomorrow of 26. So definitely improving weather conditions in this part of the country. Beautiful weather down across the southwest. A weak storm system is going to spark a few snow showers here across the central Rockies and northern Arizona. You can see some rain showers and snow mixed in that area. And on the west coast, an approaching storm system is going to bring rain from California through Oregon and Washington. So a little bit of wet weather for the west coast in the next coming days as well. As we take a look at our next map, we are going to focus on the lake effect snow over in the Great Lakes and parts of the Northeast. So we're going to see rates per hour up in the 1 to 3 inch rate per hour. We're also going to be seeing whiteout conditions from time to time that could lead to some power outages and very hazardous travel on the roads and even in some of the airports. Few airport delays, especially if you're in Buffalo, Syracuse, places like that, some of the larger cities. We're going to see that heavier snowfall that could lead to some travel delays and travel disruptions as well. So that lake effect snow will continue again tonight and into the day on Wednesday. And we're going to be seeing that cold air overspread the entire eastern U.S. from the south to the northeast and the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest for one more night tonight, at least as far as the upper Midwest is concerned, before things get a little bit milder. But if you're eastward over the Great Lakes and the Northeast and New England, it's going to be really cold, and we're going to be seeing those overnight lows and the wind chills in the 0 to 10 degree range, and we're going to see in the more comfortable areas those lows in the 20s to lower 30s. So it's going to be pretty chilly out there. And it's a little bit early for it to be this cold in some of these locations. So that's a bit unusual as well. So we got a little bit of an early bite out there for late November as we work our way into early December. It's a little bit ahead of schedule with this much cold air. So we're going to be seeing that cold expand down to the southeast as well. So we're going to see those temperatures in the 20s and 30s in the overnight lows as far as the south is concerned. That's going to lead to some frost and freeze warnings across the south and even into the state of Florida tonight and early in tomorrow morning. So some frost and freeze warnings are going to be in place across much of the southeastern U.S. So we're going to see that windy conditions as well, along with that cold air. So that's going to add to the wind chill factors, and we're going to see winds anywhere from 30 to 60 miles an hour in some locations. So some very strong wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, travel disruptions, and some blowing decorations and yard ornaments and things like that, and some power outages as well as we deal with some of those gusty winds out there moving from across the eastern U.S. and into the northeast. So we're going to see nice weather out in the west coast, and for the most part, with the exception of those showers in California up to the Pacific Northwest, we have a weak storm system that's going to bring light showers to the immediate west coast, but things are going to stay dry and nice across the Rockies and over the central U.S. So conditions will continue to warm up there and remain dry, but however, we will deal with a few showers along the immediate west coast. We're going to see some snow eventually into the Rockies. By the time we get to Friday, we're going to be seeing snow through parts of the Rockies and through the Sierra Nevadas and the Cascade Mountain Range as that storms. We have a series of storms that's going to move into the Pacific Northwest and the northwestern third of the U.S. So we're going to see several storms come in with some snow and rain along the coastal sections, and in the cities like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, we're going to see some rain showers, and a few of those showers is going to get as far south as Los Angeles. So a little bit of wet weather and some wintry precipitation for you folks on the western half of the United States. Now, in the deep south, we have that low pressure center that's going to drop down towards the Gulf Coast from the southern plains, and that's going to bring up some tropical moisture off the Gulf of Mexico and a little bit of that warmer and dry air coming off of the southern Rockies and off the southern plains. So that's going to set up a little bit of a dry line scenario where we can see some severe thunderstorms through parts of Texas and Louisiana as we head into Thursday and Friday. We can see possibly some heavy rainfall and tornadoes. It's going to be possible as we get a little bit of wind shear and a very strong jet stream to bring in some of that wind shear down with this strong area of low pressure that's going to work across the southern third of the United States as we head into the weekend. And we're going to see heavy rain, 4 to 8 inches is going to be possible. 2 to 4 inches of rain is going to be possible in the dark green right here. So eastern Texas, Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas. So Little Rock, Shreveport, Houston, we're going to see that potential for that heavy rainfall. That includes Baton Rouge and Lake Charles and Alexandria as well, where we're going to see the potential for some drought relief, some heavy rain. We just don't need the severe weather to go along with that. We don't need tornadoes for sure, but some beneficial rain is definitely going to be needed across the deep south. So here is that severe weather outlook from Thursday into Thursday night across all of the state of Louisiana, East Texas, southern Arkansas, and parts of southwestern Mississippi as well. But we're going to see that potential there for some severe weather. Not an outbreak or anything like that, but some severe storms is going to be possible. We're going to see a lot of strong storms, and some of those storms could come into some severe and some weak tornadoes. It's going to be possible with some of those strong storms, as we're going to see a lot of shear, but the dew points are be a little bit on the weak side, and there is going to be a strong cap in place in the atmosphere. And what a cap is basically in the mid-level of the atmosphere, there is a layer of drier air and warmer air. So we have your air cooling with elevation. It's called adiabatic cooling, and when it gets to a certain point, the temperature suddenly goes up, so you'll have a layer of warmer air, so that will inhibit the condensation of clouds forming and the buoyancy and the lift in the atmosphere. That's called a cap. So that's when we see that. We call that CIN, which is convective inhibition. So we're going to see a strong CIN, some relatively weak dew points, but some pretty good CAPE, so convective available potential energy, which is the thunderstorm juice. We're going to see CAPE in the 2,500 joule category, so not too bad CAPE for this time of the year, but you won't have as warm temperatures and as much won't be as warm. We're not going to see temperatures in the 80s and 90s that can help to warm the surface and help lift some of the atmosphere. So there's going to be a little bit of work to get those storms to develop with that, with some of those parameters being a little bit on the weaker side there. So these thunderstorms are a big if in this forecast. This is a big if. A lot of things kind of have to come together in order for those thunderstorms to come to fruition. We will see the rainfall. We will see a lot of rain, but thunderstorms is going to depend on a certain factors to come together. So that's a little bit of meteorology for one-on-one for you guys. So as our storm develops along the Gulf Coast here, it's going to make its way east-northeast toward the central U.S., the central Gulf, the central Atlantic. So near the Carolinas, it's going to make its way to the Cape Hatteras, Virginia area. We're going to be seeing it make a turn toward the northeast and head up the eastern seaboard. So again, next weekend, we could see the potential for rain in the northeast again. So again, another wet weekend for folks in the northeast, potentially, at least on the last half of the weekend, Sunday into Monday. So let's talk about Hawaii, which don't get talked about a lot in my videos, Hawaii and Alaska. But we have what's called a Kona low. And a Kona low is an area of low pressure that forms to the west of Hawaii. It has there is a blocking high in place that's kind of trapping that low there. So it's going to kind of remain in place Wednesday through Saturday. So we have a bit of a blocking pattern out over the Pacific, and that is going to create this Kona low, which is going to be pulling up a lot of tropical moisture from the south and the southwest. So that's going to lead to rounds of very heavy rain over the west-facing areas of Hawaii. So the Big Island, Oahu, we're going to be seeing a lot of heavy rainfall, especially as we get closer to Saturday. That rain is going to start more towards the northwestern islands on Wednesday into Thursday, but Friday that rain is going to spread further to the south to Oahu and the Big Island. So a lot of rain across Hawaii that could lead to some flooding and maybe some rock slides and landslides as well. So a little bit of something to track for Hawaii and keep. We had the fires over Oahu back over during the summer, the big fire. So we're going to see problems with heavy rain in those burn areas. So when we saw those fires in Hawaii earlier in the year, we're going to see the potential with rock slides and mudslides because a lot of the vegetation that held the soil in place was burned away by those fires. So that's something to keep in mind and keep a watch out for. So that is your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G with a late video. Thank you for watching me today, guys. I will see you guys all in the next video tomorrow. Bye.